Hey, it's Joddie Taylor of SnackySays. Welcome back to my podcast, the SnackySays podcast. Today I am chatting about 5 things I'm wondering about. So let's hop on into it. Number 1, asking for a friend. I'm the friend. Have you seen Zante dried currants in your local supermarket? These things have gone the way of the dinosaur. I used to buy them a few years ago, really enjoy them. Even looking online, iHerb seems to have them for a reasonable price, but then I have to spend $30 to get free shipping. And I don't want to spend $30 to get free shipping. So asking for a friend, like, please respond. If you're getting this in your inbox, like, hit reply, let me know. Otherwise, you can leave a comment at joddie.substack.com. or on your podcast platform, but I think joddie.substack.com is probably the best place. I'm serious. So if you don't know, currants are like teeny tiny sweet dried raisins, like a different variety, I think, of raisin, the teeny tiny sweet type. Luckily, I'm not in charge of their marketing. I think Sunmade was the brand. Yeah, Sunmade was the brand I used to buy. It's an orange bag. I don't know what happened to those bad boys. Can't find them anywhere. Please let me know. Next up, do you live in a state that allows for turning right on a red? So there's a red light. If you're the driver, you can turn right on that light. You don't have to stop. I'm out and about in these streets walking, and as someone who is most of the time, all of the time, a pedestrian, it drives me nuts. You know, I grew up in New York, lived in New York, and we didn't have, New York State, I believe, does have turn on the red, but not in the city. There's no turning on the red. It's just something I can never get used to, because I find that folks are like, floor it! Do you ever see that SpongeBob episode? No, SpongeBob, floor it! He's taking his driving lesson. I swear they're trying to take me out. They are like on the gas, turning on red. It drives me just bananas. Do you find that? Is it just me? Are they just gunning for me? And then they have the nerve to like either ignore, like just totally ignore me, like they don't see me. Like I said, they'll floor it, or be impatient. I am not going to be scuttling, running across the street so you can turn on red. I'm just not going to do it. That's how accidents happen. I'm not going to be sprawled out because you want to turn on red. It's gotten to the point now where I will take one earplug out, or like not even have it on. That and runners. What is it that they say? On your left, on your right? By the time I hear them, we're practically colliding into each other. But I don't have anything against runners. I don't feel like they're gunning for me. Oh, look, the refrigerator stopped humming. Fun fact, I'll be sitting here, good. And then I decide it's quiet, it's silent. And then I'm like, let me record a podcast episode. No sooner will I say that than the refrigerator will start going. I'm going to try to make this fast so I can finish this before it starts humming again. Anyway, so far we have things I'm wondering about: dried currants, where are they? They're missing in action. And turning on right. Is there a protocol? Am I missing something? I believe I have the right of way. Next up, I want to put on your radar. I don't know if you are. I'm wondering if you are into playing cards. Where is the link? Me and these tabs. Be Rooted. Here we go. So Be Rooted playing cards. I love these cards because this is a Black-owned, women-owned business. I'm always keen to support one of those. Hello, like me. So they're the illustrations for the King, Queen, and Jack, and maybe the Joker. Let me see if they have a picture of the Joker. Yes, and the Joker. So King, Queen, Jack, maybe not the Joker, but they're all Black folks, which I love. I love to see us on playing cards, whatever, representation. I grew up in a time where I just did not see that. I'm going to date myself, but I grew up with Fun with Dick and Jane. That was one of the first books I had. And as much fun as they was having, there weren't a lot of Black folks in those picture books. So I'm always super excited. My mind is always blown to see things like this, which I'm also even more excited because there are folks listening to this like, what? That's unusual. And, you know, this is the internet, so maybe this will live on for a good long while, and there will be a kid listening like, how interesting, because there are Black folks on everything that I purchase. Gosh, I hope so. This deck of cards is only $10. It's on Be Rooted. Act surprised, because I'll be bringing this deck of cards up again around Christmas time. I already started working on an episode for stocking stuffers. This is going to be I don't own these cards yet, but when I get them, I will have a review for you, but I want to put it on your radar. If you're wondering, you know, what to bring to the next game night or barbecue, or hey, Juneteenth is coming up. Next up, I'm wondering if you were to go viral. Let's say you're a creative entrepreneur, or you have a brick and mortar business, you have a website, you have some merch. Are you ready? This is a question that's been coming up for me and coming to me, whether it was a digital summit or mentioned in a YouTube video or in a podcast. This is like, it came up again today, like the fourth time this year, and we're in April. I'm recording this April 2024. I think it's a great question to ask yourself. One of the things I've noticed, I love YouTube. You will notice that in the SnackySays newsletter and in the show notes, I always have links to YouTube videos and shorts. I'm not on social media all that much, or really not at all, but I have noticed on YouTube and social media that no matter how large the following, someone will have 2 million views, or let's say 2,000, 20,000 views on a joke, on a skit, on them dancing, and then they're selling something, and the views will be like, the views or the likes will be like 100, just like a teeny amount, which I always find kind of interesting. So fast forward, let's say they really blow up, or they have a viral post or something like that. If they already don't have those things in place to sell, you know, like even contact information, hey, like here, like if you want to do business inquiries, if they don't have something in place already, let's say right now, like I said, they're not getting a ton of views, likes, and sales, but if they don't have something in place, you'll notice, I've noticed, tell me if you agree, that then they're scrambling. So they have a viral post, and then 2 weeks later, 2 months later, 6 months later, they're now selling a t-shirt. And again, it's not getting much traction. That's just my observation, that there isn't, you know, folks want to laugh with you. My observation, folks want to laugh at you and look, oh, here's the recipe, blah, 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 blah. But when it comes to purchasing something, the likes, views, and people actually clicking and buying things go way, way down. So I'm kind of saying two things at the same time, but they're related. So it made me think, and I've mentioned it a little bit, and you may have noticed on joddie.substack.com, I personally have started to change things around. Like, here are my favorite things. You know, here's how to get in contact with me. Here are my offers. I want to make it as easy as possible for one sweet day, when I have my 15 minutes of fame, when I go viral, I already have things in place. I'm not trying to like spin and catch up. So I'm just wondering what you think. So what made me think of it today, I was watching / listening, because I was walking, to the new king of fried chicken, $1,000 startup. And that was on the YouTube channel Upflip. I just came across this YouTube channel about a week ago, and I've been devouring its content. It was like the refresh and reset I personally need it, because sometimes I'm like, oh, you know, to do business on your own, to be a creative entrepreneur, sometimes it just feels like you're running off of bubblegum and hope. So I feel so refreshed and energized to hear these folks' stories, how they got started and how they keep going. And so one thing that Chef Vinny said, so Chef Vinny owns, I believe it's called Honey Kettle Fried Chicken restaurant in Culver City, which should be in California. He spoke about going viral via social media. Like, you could go viral with one post and then you have 1,000 people showing up at the restaurant. Are you prepared? Are you ready? I'm paraphrasing what he said, but that's why it came back to me. So I wanted to put that out there for you. So maybe you're posting on social media. Maybe you have a brick and mortar store. Maybe you have a digital product, which, let's face it, a digital product is a little bit different. Once you create it and put it out there, let's say it's an ebook, Folks just have to download it. So you're not going to be scrambling to print anything, but it's still something to consider. It's still something to consider. So you have a digital product, you have 10, maybe you want to make another 10. Last but not least, I'm wondering if you know that I have a Udemy course. It is up for SnackySays podcast listeners and SnackySays newsletter subscribers. I want you to know, if you didn't know, you can use code SNACKY for a limited time. I'm recording this April 2024, so I think it's available until May 15th, 2024. For a limited time, you can get this course for free. It is called How to Stick to a 100-Day Challenge. And if you're thinking, I don't know if I could do a 100-day challenge, you're doing one right now. There is something that you have done for the last 100 days and maybe even the 100 days before that. So you can do this. There's something you want to do, chip away at it. 100-day challenge doesn't have to mean going, full speed ahead every day for 100 days, but it's doing something every day to meet your goal, whatever that is. I hope you check it out. So far, I have 982 students and counting as of this recording, and 5 kind folks have left reviews. The course has been out for, I think it's been 2 or 3 weeks now. I've mentioned this before, but I learned how to do this through Ken Salomon's Marketplace Superstar course, which I highly recommend. As a result, this is my favorite type of course. I learned something, I implement it, and boom, I have a digital product, a service, a physical product, something to show for it in my hands or on the interwebs. So again, the Udemy course, my first Udemy course, but not my last, is called How to Stick to a 100-Day Challenge. As a SnackySays podcast listener or SnackySays newsletter subscriber, please use code SNACKY, SNACKY, to get it for free. Okay? Thank you for listening. Those are the 5 things I'm wondering about. If you enjoyed this podcast episode or any of my podcast episodes, please share with a friend or 3. And if you haven't already, please subscribe at joddie.substack.com. Thank you so much for listening. Take care.